Stand beside me or don't. I am going to question my father and straighten this out. It's all just a mistake.
What do you know, glorious strategist? Where is the spirit monk amulet?
You will find out soon enough, brother. But it also does my heart good to see that you have remembered the basics of what I taught. Even the flaws.
Well, then that explains why there's an opening that kind of pulls you in. He programmed the openings into his students so that he could take him out. Sucks. Good twist, though. I wasn't expecting it. I thought we were at the end. I was hitting the mute button and everything.
Death has come to you, but life can be regained. I will guide you through madness to the light. Follow the pillar of light.
Okay. That was a cameo portrait for. Says, wherein the water dragon intervenes, a true history is revealed, and the spirit monk legacy is reclaimed. The defeat of Emperor Sunhai was supposed to set things right, but with one careful blow, Master Li left you crumbled on the floor, a pawn in his carefully plotted revenge. Spirit realm stretches before you, but a beacon in the distance calls. You are not yet lost to the living. Can I fight him with the longsword? How could you be immune to longsword fighting?
Your master betrayed you, as he once betrayed his brother. A revenge years in the planning. He trained you to fight a tyrant, but with a flaw. He wanted you vulnerable in your moment of triumph. The dragon amulet is in his hands, reassembled. He will consume my power, but all is not lost. Seek my light.
Oops.
You have done well, mortal, but your journey is far from over. Time grows short, and we must act quickly if we are to stop your Master Li. Your master, Sun Li, the glorious strategist, betrayed you. He killed you to claim the power of the Emperor, my power, as his own. You are dead. I am the Water Dragon, immortal guardian of the path to the underworld. I shepherd the dead, leading them to my holy temple in Dirge, the gateway to the afterlife. But 20 years ago, the Emperor and his brothers attacked Dirge. They burned my temple, slew my servants, and defiled my body so the Emperor could claim my power. When Emperor Sun Hai fell, I reclaimed some of my power, enough to call your spirit here. But now I am fading once more. Sun Li consumes my energy. Your former master has long desired power, to impose his will on the Empire. His plan took years to form, but the prize was too grand to let go to waste on his brother's madness. He consumes my essence to become a god, but he does not yet fully control his power. That is why I could bring you here, and why we can speak now.
Oh, so much for
My
that.
strength wanes. We must act quickly. For you to fulfill your destiny, I must send you to Dirge now, while Sun Li struggles to control his newfound power.
He plans on this. His lives have spanned for years. Why are you sending me to Dirge?
My temple at Dirge is defiled. I do not have the power to restore you to life. But I can send your spirit to Dirge, so you may cleanse the taint corrupting my holy sanctum.
Taint.
Hurry! If you restore the fountains of Dirge, I can restore you to life. If you do not, Master Li will become unstoppable. Seek out Abbot Song. He will help you. Restore the fountains of Dirge. Restore my power, and I will speak to you again.
All right.
Leaping tiger! Longsword!
All right. Oh.
This cannot be. Is it really possible? I sense the mark of the water dragon upon you. You have returned.
Who are you?
You don't recognize me? No, of course not. You were just an infant when you were taken from us. I am the spirit of Abbot Song, slain many years ago by the glorious strategist. Before my death, I was the head of the Spirit Monk Order. Your order. Master Li? He is Sun Li, the traitor. How out of balance the world has become when one of our order believes Sun Li to be his master. You are a spirit monk, born here in Dirge and cleansed in the sacred fountains. You were an infant the day the Emperor and Sun Li attacked our monastery. I tried to save you from the slaughter, only to lose you to Li when he ripped you from the arms of your dying guardian. I can only imagine what lies and distortions he told you about Dirge, your heritage, and his own role in events here. But now, you deserve to hear the truth. 30 years ago, the long drought struck the land. For a decade, crops withered and died. Starving people across the Empire demanded that something be done. Despite his position, Emperor Sun Hai could not alter the natural order. He demanded that his brother, the glorious strategist, concoct a plan to rectify this insult. Through Sun Li's cunning, the armies of the Emperor laid siege to the gates of Dirge. They came to seize the Water Dragon's power and her life-giving waters.
My actual question is, why was the water dragon not giving water? What possible reason does she have to starve everybody out? Anyway.
The soldiers of the Imperial Army swarmed over us, too many to count. My spirit monks fought bravely, but I knew the battle was lost. We were beaten. All around me, my fellow spirit monks were dying. I tried to hold the attackers at bay. Prince Qin attacked me, and then Master Li cut me down from behind. The Emperor ascended unopposed, but already Sun Li and Prince Qin plotted against him. The glorious strategist was not content to watch his brother come to power. Emperor Sun Hai, ruler of the Jade Empire, stepped beyond his station and slew the Water Dragon, claiming her power for his own. His brothers tried to strike him down, but they could not know he would be so strong. Infused with the Water Dragon's power, he was now unbelievably powerful. Sun Li escaped with his life, but he left his brother, Prince Qin, to suffer the Emperor's terrible vengeance. A spirit monk child still lived. He killed your guardian. Claiming his identity, no longer a servant of the Emperor, Li abandoned his fearsome armor to become the master you thought you knew. If you and the amulet were the key to defeating his brother, he might still claim that power. Li disappeared with you and the amulet, escaping the Emperor's retribution. With his newfound power, The Emperor, as a taunt to his traitorous brother, bound kin spirit to the armor Lee had left behind. And Death's hand was born.
You were the last of the spirit monks. Sun Li saw our attempt to save you as confirmation of your importance. He believed you were meant to restore what he helped steal.
He trained you to be an instrument of vengeance, an agent to succeed where he and Prince Qin had failed. But with your death, the Emperor is now invincible. Then the glorious strategist has won. You were the last of the spirit monks, but now you are just a ghost like the rest of us. No one is left to oppose Sun Li. You spoke with the water dragon? Of course! Only she could guide your spirit to Dirge, while all others must wander the mortal world. I worried that our last hope had died with you, but now I see you have come to restore the fountains of Dirge. The first step in restoring the water dragon herself. As leader of the spirit monks in life, I am bound by honor and duty to aid you in this task. I swear, I will not abandon you until the fountains of Dirge are restored. I can guide you here in Dirge, this lost home of yours. I know the monastery well, and will do everything in my power to help you restore the fountains. The fountains were tainted with human blood, which shattered their seals. The blood that stained them is gone. Replacing the seals should restore them. You are probably right. We must restore the Water Dragon's power before Sun Li gains full command of her powers. You have nothing to fear here. Though many dangerous beings dwell in Dirge, these monks and soldiers cannot harm you. The monks and soldiers who fell during the battle are trapped here in Dirge. Caught in a never-ending war, they fight, they fall, only to rise and fall again. Li cut me down on the steps of the temple. My body fell, and my spirit rose. Powerless, I fled toward the outer courtyard, while the battle still raged. I wanted to see if you had escaped. Instead, I saw Li take you, and I found myself trapped out here. The Emperor had sealed the gates behind me. My spirit cannot leave Dirge. None of the spirits here can leave. For 20 years, I have been trapped in the outer courtyard, unable to pass through the gates. My hope is that the restoration of the fountain will allow the gates to open. Perhaps inside we can find a way to restore Dirge and free my brethren from this curse. I cannot say what fate lies ahead, but after 20 years, your return gives me reason to hope once more. There's no way through the gates. The Emperor sealed them 20 years ago. Now they keep me from entering my own monastery. If we can restore the fountain, the gates may open for us.
Leaping tight. Leaping tight.
guardian of this fountain is destroyed, and I weep for her. She was once one of our order, but lured by Li's promises of wealth and power, she betrayed us. This thing is the corrupted spirit of Xiang Wu. During the attack, she and several other spirit monks betrayed us by tainting the holy fountains with human blood. Long before the attack, Li sent spies to bribe some of our weaker members. When they tainted the fountains, the power sustaining us against the army vanished. After the battle, the Emperor executed Xiang Wu and the others, and he used the power of the water dragon to bind their spirits to the fountains. Their crime was terrible, but they did not deserve this fate. They suffered endless torment from which they could never escape. Such is the power of the binding. The binding is a sacred ritual of the spirit monks. We can draw on the power of the water dragon to bind a spirit to us. It is one of our tools for shepherding the dead. Even before Dirge was befouled, there were ghosts in the world. Some spirits would become lost in their journey here, or refuse to let go of the mortal world and go mad. If we found one of these restless ghosts, we could bind it to us and bring it to Dirge. Then we would release the spirit, so the water dragon could lead it into the afterlife. The binding is a great gift from the water dragon, if used properly. But the power can be abused. The Emperor bound the traitors not to himself, but to a place. A spirit can never escape such a binding. It feels an inexorable pull, but it has nowhere to go. It feels a compulsion to obey, but is never given a command. The spirit twists and corrupts, and in its agony it goes mad. Binding a spirit to a place is a terrible crime for our order. The only thing worse is binding a living creature. Binding the living condemns them to a fate worse than death. It forces the subject to obey and robs them of their free will. As a spirit monk, you must never do such a thing. The ability to bind spirits comes from the essence of the water dragon inside you. You may not have the power now, but one day you will be able to call upon it when needed. But this is not the time for lessons or instruction. The Guardian is dead, but you must place the seal on the fountain for it to be fully restored. It worked! The fountain is restored, and the gates to the inner courtyard have opened.